Hello! How is everybody today? We all doing good? I hope y'all didn't miss me too much. I will let you know. Let's turn this off. I need something else in the back of my head. That's not Shinso Sasageo. Shinso Sasageo! I did leave last week on a bit of a mysterious note, so do we want to get to the big news right away, or should I come up with something else? Should I just talk about my trip first? You know what? I think I'm gonna talk about my trip first. I do have a video prepared. I just uploaded it to my channel here. YouTube's gonna process it for a bit longer. So I can't show it to you just yet. In a minute, maybe we will see. My trip went great. Don't dox myself. I'm not gonna dox myself. It doesn't show anything. It's just a little video that I took off of the porch. So this cabin was like owned by is owned by my dad's boss. Beautiful cabin, by the way. There's this huge river outside. And the little video that I took is like 20 seconds. And it shows the river. It basically rained like half of the days that we were there anyway. So, I didn't really get to enjoy the outside too much, but it was still nice. And unfortunately, I couldn't have brought Vinny with me just because he doesn't get along with the dogs, and we were bringing the dogs with us. You know, on the first day, we had a fucking eventful first day. So I was the pack mule on Sunday. I was bringing everything into the cabin, right? Let me get my music on so that I can think here. Here we go. Somehow I'm not having horrible, terrible, no good, very bad allergies. Somehow I'm fine. So, you know, that's a plus. As far as I'm concerned. We are doing great. Okay, switch it back over here. We're good. Yeah. I'm also very hungry. Okay, story time. Right. So Sunday, I was the pack mule. We got to the cabin around like, I want to say 2 p.m. And I took allergy medicine before we got there, and I took it every day while we were there. So it worked wonders. It worked wonders. Thank you, Zyrtec. So, I was bringing everything in, and I didn't take any pictures of the inside of the cabin, or I would share some of those with you. I would share some with y'all, but I don't have any. I just did not take any pictures. My dad, however, did take many, many pictures of the inside. It was nice. Oh my god, it was so nice in there. Like, you wouldn't think a cabin out in the woods would be nice, but it was like, woo! Woo! Hi, Vinny. Hi! I'm just really happy to have Vinny back. I missed him so much while I was on my trip. You would expect that shit to be nice? I will tell you, I have stayed in a great many cabins in my time. Most of them were not nearly as nice as this one. Like, laminated floors. Like, there was the original wood underneath, but then they were laminated over top. With what? I don't know, but they were oh, it was hella nice. Hella nice. And then we could have all stayed in different rooms. Well, almost all of us could have stayed in different rooms. I chose to share with my brother because we're both heavy sleepers. So we shared. One of the boys decided to stay out on the pull-out couch, and one of the boys decided to stay upstairs in the attic space, which there were 4 extra cots up there. Like, you could have fit a small army in there. Holy shit. Gotta see the cabins down there. See, typically cabins here are like you got spiders behind the toilets, you got mice, rats, whatever. So as I was finishing unloading everything into this cabin, right? Ow. My dog, Steve, he's a Jack Russell, right? I don't know if that picked up, but he was just barking. I'm trying to tell my story. Bro, I'm trying to tell my story. So, Steve decides to go underneath my bed for some reason. And I'm just like, what? Why is he under there? Okay, whatever. He's freaked out, right? No big deal. So, I continue unpacking all of my things. I brought like a fitted sheet to put over the cot. Make it nice for myself, you know. It was a smart choice on my part. Very smart choice. And then I check on Steve. He's still under my bed. He like made a dive. He dove and slid under my bed. There was rat poison under there. And guess what he was doing? Yup, he was eating it. So that was fun. That was very fun to discover. He was fine, for the record. He's perfectly fine. It passed right through his system. I think we gave him a little bit of charcoal so that he would just, you know, puke it up or something, but yeah, he's a Jack Russell. Jack Russells are just built different. I don't know what to say. So then after that, so after we finished loading everything into the house from the cars, building up his poison immunity. It had to be something like that. Like, in the moment, I was sick to my stomach because I was like, oh dear God, why is he eating that? Just, okay, buddy. And then him being perfectly fine was ridiculous to me. It was crazy. Jack Russells are just built different, man. They're built different. Let's see. He just said, oh, it's spicy. Apparently, rat poison tastes sweet, actually. It's like kind of sweet, kind of salty. I don't know, something like that. So after the rat poison incident, I was like, okay, well, today is gonna be the nicest day, because I checked the weather report after I got done loading everything in. We had decent service out there, but I just didn't feel the need to pick up my phone much at all. Like, I just did not want to pick up my phone at all. I had no desire to do so. Half the time I just left my phone in the cabin. I just didn't bring it with me ever. So after that, and we were like, okay, this is the nicest day of our trip. This is the nicest time that we're gonna have. It's so sunny. It's so beautiful. It was like 80-something degrees out there. Sun was shining. I made sure to put copious amounts of sunscreen on. Make sure that you do not neglect your skincare, everybody. It's very important. So, we went down to the river that I was talking about. So this river outside the cabin. It was so long. Oh my God, it's still processing. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. So the thing about this river, though, is it was formed by glaciers. So the river has a lot of weird ridges to it. So it's like there's some parts of it that are very, very shallow. And then right next to the very, very shallow ends are very deep parts. So like there was some parts that would be up by my ankles, the shallow ends would be. And then the deep parts would be up to my knees or my thighs, or even deeper in some cases. There was one time where My brother was in the river, and he decides to get out of his floaty. We were all in floaties, we had floaties nearby just to be safe. He gets out of his floaty and is like, oh, I could touch, like, right over there. It should be fine. And I see his head drop below the surface. I went, oh, where'd he go? I was, of course, ready to jump into action. His head came right back up. He was good. But there were some deceptively deep parts of this river. And now these things are set up like you ever seen, like, in old platform games, how the little spike traps are set up? There's, like, little spike traps all along the bottom of this riverbed, but the spikes are the safe parts. So we all went tubing down the river. Mario warped into a new zone. Yeah, we all went tubing down the river, so we rode all of the waterfalls all the way down. I scraped up my tailbone real bad. It was fun. It was fun, though. So, my dad actually has the video of all of us riding down the river. I'll have to ask him. Now we're going peaches. Peaches, 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 peaches. So on our second ride down the river, we were like, okay, let's go a little bit further this time. Let's go a little bit further to another area that we'd been to before, but we just didn't go that far because we didn't want to walk that far back up the hill. It was a pretty long hike up the hill to get to where the tubing spot was. So we got up there, we got down to that part, and these ridges, I wonder if I could draw them for you guys. Let me see if I can, like, draw how they were shaped. Hold on. Pulling up MS Paint out here. Y'all aren't ready for my MS Paint skills. Y'all aren't ready for this. ADHD activate. Well, it's relevant to the story. It's relevant to the story that I'm trying to tell here. What would it even count as? A window capture, I guess. Window capture. Okay. Have that, and now I need to move this down. Perfect. Okay. Like, I can show you guys what the riverbed was like. So, here's what I was talking about when I was saying, like, how the river was set up. So, like, there were the shallow bits. What the hell is this? Do I know how to use MS Paint? Probably. And then these were the parts that were, like, up to my knees. And then it would be here. And, like, this was the whole side. This is how the river was structured, like, all the way down. I don't think my alerts work on this screen, so just don't play any alerts, and we will have no scuff. So, the area down the river that we were trying to go into was shaped like this. And I was trying to go down the river, trying to go down all of the wonderful waterfalls that were there. And my foot got stuck in here. And then it got caught on, like, some rock or something. I don't know what I got caught on. But there was, like, river gunk on the high end, so there was like algae or something soft and slippery, and it was just on these top parts. No, I did not break anything. I am perfectly fine. I didn't break anything. I didn't hurt myself. I just banged up my tailbone a bit. So yeah, I slipped on whatever river gunk was up here. My foot went down into this trench here, and I got stuck. Mind you, I had the inner tube around my waist still, right? I was still like going tubing down the river. I was sitting in it for majority of the time, but then I tried to get myself unstuck because the water level was maybe about here. Maybe about here. And I was stuck on the inner tube and my foot was down here. So I had to let go of the inner tube and let it go down the river or I was gonna start drowning. I was managing to hold my head above the water. It was like just deep enough that I could, or my head could just slip under the water. So it was kind of scary at times, but it was a lot of fun at the end of the day. It was a lot of fun. And then I had to work with my brothers to get the inner tube back because those inner tubes were not ours, by the way. They did not belong to us. They were the person who lended us the cabin. They belonged to them, and they very generously let us borrow them. So kudos to that guy. Kudos to that guy, whose name I'm not going to mention for his privacy. But it was a great time. That was probably the only scary part. Oh, never mind. I have another story, but I don't need paint for this one. So, on the second day, my brothers went frolicking in the woods, like, really early on in the mornings. Like, we're talking, like, 5 or 6 a.m. They were like, oh, we want to go play in the woods. And so my dad was like, okay, yeah, have fun, just be safe. Made them take, like, a whistle with them so that they could call for help if they needed it. It was chill, it was all good. So my brothers come back and they're like, oh my god, Bear, you're not gonna believe this. I'm like, what am I not gonna believe? They're like, we found Frog Beach. We found a Frog Beach. And I'm just like, Frog Beach? My one goal for this entire trip was to catch a hamburger-sized frog. That is all that I wanted. I wanted to catch a hamburger-sized frog and hold it and then put it back where I found it. That is what I wanted. I would have even been happy with the snake. I did not catch the hamburger-sized frog, by the way. That did not happen. I'm still upset about it. I'm very upset about it, in fact. But they were like, oh my god, we found Frog Beach! You can catch your frog here! I'm just like, no way. Where is this beach? I need to go right now! So, they walk me up the hill. So this is up around where, like, the tubing site was. And it was just, like, down the river a little ways down the river. And, it starts drizzling on the way there. It starts drizzling on the way up to Frog Beach. And I'm talking to my brothers, I'm like, hey guys, we should probably head back soon. It's gonna start raining. And they're like, no, but you need to see this. You need to see how many frogs are here. I'm just like, okay, but we really need to head back soon. And they're like, yeah, we'll go back in just a second. I'm like, okay, guys, all right, fine. Remember, I'm blind without my glasses. So they bring me down to Frog Beach, right? And it's starting to rain pretty badly at this point. I'm like, hey, we need to go now. It's like the kind of rain that's not too bad. You don't need an umbrella or anything, but you definitely don't want to be outside when it gets worse. Unfortunately, we were outside when it got worse. So we're all like, oh, we have to get back now. So the pathway to Frog Beach was pretty treacherous. Like, we had to jump over a lot of rocks that had moss on them and stuff. And moss, the thing about moss is it gets very, very slippery when it gets wet. Because it's moss. uh, so we were all like helping each other clamber over the rocks and slipping and sliding and getting muddy and banging our knees on everything, scraping our legs. Yeah, just typical frolicking in the woods type shit. It was fun. So then we get to so there was a small town that was like within walking distance of our cabin. And we're in this small town, and one of my brothers goes left and one of them goes right. And at this point, my glasses are covered in water. I can't see shit. So I just followed whoever was in front of me. I'm pretty sure it was my youngest brother, and he led me entirely the wrong way. So like I said, I just followed whoever was in front of me, and I'm pretty sure it was him. So he led me into some sweet old man's backyard, and I am drenched at this point. Like, I'm wearing a flannel and a t-shirt. That t-shirt and the flannel is soaked through. I am freezing cold. I am drenched, and this sweet old man like calls out the window at me. He's like, "Are you okay, miss?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm good." I'm good. And he's like, "Are you sure? Do you want to come in for a second and dry off?" And I'm just like, stranger danger, run away. I say, "No, thank you, sir. I'm all right. I'll find my way." I have no sense of direction. Yes, this is very true. I am very bad with direction, especially when I am mostly blind, which I was, because at this point I just took my glasses off because I was like, I can't see anything with them on anyway. It was so bad. Then my mom came out looking for me, and she got drenched, and I ran into my other brother. So there was like an antique general store. It's not in use anymore. It wasn't in use anymore. It was more like a like a museum or something. So there was a bunch of old relics, and that place was, yeah. So I finally found my landmark. And then I made my way back to the cabin, completely drenched. I like ripped my flannel off the second I got in there. Bears are meant to be good at navigation. I am a fey creature. I don't need a sense of direction, and so I was never given one. Yeah. So eventually I made it back to the cabin. Everything was fine. Uh, it was just, it was a mess. It was a mess, and that was the second day. And then we were basically trapped inside the cabin for the rest of the day because it started thunderstorming and everything. That was fun. But I just sat there and I looked through this bookshelf. So most of the stuff in the cabin is just stuff that other people who have stayed in the cabin, all other people have stayed in the cabin, just kind of left stuff that they didn't need or want to bring with them. So there were a lot of books there, like a lot of books. And I perused the shelf, I looked through, and I found a book called Moby Dick. So I started reading Moby Dick. And the entire first chapter is this man complaining about people going... No, but you didn't read the first chapter. The whole book is about a whale, yes, but the first chapter is the protagonist complaining about why people like to go down to the beach, why people like to go visit the water. He's like, you wouldn't go visit Niagara Falls if it was a desert, would you? Yeah, ha, I didn't think so. I was just sitting here laughing my ass off about this man complaining about people. Oh, Mm, mm. But he had a point. He had a point. I need to. I didn't bring the book with me. I didn't take the book with me. But I'll have to actually read Moby Dick at some point. I'd never read it before then. But I was sitting there the whole time giggling because I just couldn't take him seriously. It was so funny. And then I think on the third day, the day that we were supposed to leave, for a book that's supposed to be serious, it's pretty funny. It is really funny. It's not what I was expecting at all. But it's basically the guy saying that he's better than other people because I don't go to the water. I don't go to the sea for superficial reasons like looking at water. I'm better than those people. I go to sea because I like the sea. It's so stupid. But it cracked me up. I don't think I was meant to interpret it as humor, but I don't know, my Zoomer brain is broken. On the third day, my brother wanted to take the dogs out for a walk. So my parents were like, "Hey, Bear, go with your brother. Go take him. Go take him on a walk." Because they just didn't want him to go by himself with both of the dogs, right? So I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'll put on my shoes. I'll go. Give me a minute. So I go with him into the woods, and we start hiking up the trail again. And guess what? Guess what fucking happens? Guess what fucking happens? I bet you can't guess. It starts raining. It starts raining again. The second that I went out, it started raining, and I was just like, God fucking damn it. I was so looking forward to just looking up at the sky and seeing stars, and there were no stars to be seen. There were no stars to be seen. I could not believe how much I was robbed. I was robbed. Mother Nature just did not want me to be outside. Mother Nature didn't want me to find my hamburger frog, man. Mother Nature didn't want me to do shit. But I did find 2 tiny frogs. Unfortunately, I do not have pictures of them because I had to hold them with both of my hands and I could not take a picture. Otherwise, they would have jumped right out of my hands and gone splat against the ground. But trust me when I say, just trust me, bro. Trust me when I say they were smaller than dimes. They were so tiny. They were so cute. I love frogs. I love frogs. And then I found a grasshopper as well. He was hanging out by a termite mound. So I rescued him from the termites. So I did a good deed. I found some nice grass for him. He was getting food. No, he was going to die. He was like in their nest. Okay, let me explain. It was like a half log that was hollowed out, and the termites made that their nest, and you could kind of see their mounds. And this grasshopper was just in there. He was just in there. That's what they eat? No, the termites eat bugs too. Termites don't just sit there and eat wood pulp. He was just vibing. Yeah, and he was going to die if he kept vibing there. And then, so my dad, on the second day, when it wasn't raining, finally, when it wasn't raining, he took me out to a range. It was, a tiny little range. It was, like, off to the side of the property. Took me and 2 of my brothers, and we all got to play with some boomsticks. Safely, of course. We were all very safe about it. My dad is ex-military, so he taught us all of the important safety things that we needed to know. So it was all very safe. I wore ear protection, so I can still hear. Yes. I got to fire off 3 that I'm not gonna go into detail. I'm not gonna go into detail on right now. But I got to try out 3 different kinds of boomsticks. It was fun. Also very scary, but fun. I hit 2 targets. I was very proud of myself. What else? What else did I do on my trip? Oh yeah, I went fishing. I didn't catch anything, unfortunately. And we packed up everything pretty early because guess fucking what? Guess fucking what? It started raining again! It started raining again. So we just said, okay, whatever, fine. We're going back we're going back to the cabin. We're tired anyway. So I funnily enough, I was the one handling the bait when it came to fishing. I was picking up the night crawlers. I like grabbed them and I was ripping them out of the container. I was like, come here, you little bastard. Get on the hook, you little bastard. And I impressed my dad a little bit. He didn't know that I knew how to cast a line. And I, in fact, knew how to cast a line. Because I'd gone fishing before. Get on the hook, you squishy little fucker! Ah! Yep, exactly. So, Oh, yeah. And then when I was out on the range, I was waiting for it to be my turn, because we were only using 1 boomstick at a time. For good reason. For good reason. Because all of us were first-timers. It was something very new to all of us. So while I was waiting for my turn and they were picking up some shells, I was stalking this little moth. I saw this moth in the grass. The grass was pretty high, like up halfway up my shin, maybe. So I was stalking this little moth, and I'm like, I want to catch this thing. And my one brother was just watching me. He was like, you freak, what are you doing? I'm just like, I'm gonna catch this moth. And the moth flew right onto my hand! It flew right onto my hand! Words cannot describe how excited I was when the moth just, like, flew up and landed on my finger. I was so excited! I was so excited! It was like he chose me! He chose me, man! It was so cute. You know, moths, for being insects, are actually very, very cute. Like, they have cute little faces. They're so fluffy. And this moth as well was very, very cute and fluffy. Yeah! It chose me! It decided it wanted to be my friend. It wanted to come hang out with me. Can't actually touch animals. Maybe one day, Blue. Maybe one day. I don't typically get to touch animals, unless if it's my own animals. There's just none here. City gal, yeah. Ugh. And the air quality today was so bad. Like, we came back from our trip, woke up the next day, and there was just smoke all over the place. I don't know if this is how it is in the rest of the Midwest, but it's so bad here. Like, I could not see the bottom of the valley at all. There's so much smoke from Canada. It is this bad all over the Midwest. Good to know. Good to know that I'm not alone in this. Oh my god! Oh my god! The air pollution is so bad. If I had to imagine, it's worse in New York, because it's just bad by default there. Okay. Now, for the big announcement that I have been keeping from you guys, I have good news, and I have bad news. Which would you like to hear first? You guys like to hear the good news or the bad news first? Bad news first? Okay. Okay, so bad news first. There's no stream for Friday. No stream for Friday. I'm sorry. However, the good news is Saturday and Sunday, I will be live, and we're gonna do a 24-hour stream. I'm gonna attempt one at least. I may not make it to 24 hours. I may need to tap out early because I've never done anything this long. Honestly, when I did the 12-hour stream for when I debuted this model, I wanted to keep going. I wanted to keep going so badly, but my voice gave out. And I think I know what I did wrong. Number one, my voice is not practiced enough. It wasn't ready for that yet. Yeah, but that's because I went too hard too fast. Okay, I crammed in the Rate My Husbando. I crammed that in, and then I did karaoke after that, or maybe it was the other way around. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I crammed all of that into like the first 2 hours of the stream, and that took all of my voice from me. That took everything from me. So, my thinking is if I pace myself a little bit better for the 24-hour stream, I should be able to make it. I should be fine the very next day to keep going. I am going to sleep halfway through. There's no way that I'm staying up for 24 hours straight. I get weird if I don't get sleep. I get weird, okay? And not even the good kind of weird, just like, I hate everything. I hate all of you. And then I'll just say something stupid that I won't like, and something that I'll regret. I'm gonna be going hard on Red Bulls. You don't need to be awake the entire time. You don't need to be awake the entire time. We talked about this. So yeah, 24-hour stream is happening. I'm thinking I'm going to start it on Saturday at 12 p.m. and then end it on Sunday, 12 p.m. I'm debating exactly how I want to do it still, but I should have something 100% solid for you guys. By like Thursday or Friday, I should have something a little bit more solid for you guys, like a more solid plan in mind. But when I was on my trip, I was still debating if I was going to do the 24-hour. I mean, I was pretty sure that I wanted to do it, but I just wasn't sure like of the days that I wanted to do it. I finally had some time. So I'm really excited to be doing this. Really excited. Because I've been wanting to do the longer streams for a while, you know. I feel like I only stream 3 hours every time I stream, right? And then I only stream 3 days a week. Marixa! Oh my god, you just missed the announcement! Okay, I'll announce it again. I'll talk about it again. The Pool Pissers are here! Hello, wonderful Pool Pissers! It's so good to see you all! Marixa, thank you for the subby too! Hello, welcome in everybody! I see, oh my goodness, I see Jersey Rex! Of course, Marixa! Oh, who else? Nick's